Assalamu alaikum guys and welcome to IELTS Solutions. In today's lesson, we will be discussing the present continuous tense, which is the second lesson in our series Unlocking English Tenses. The present continuous tense is used to describe actions that are currently happening or ongoing at the moment of speaking. We will be covering the formation of the present continuous tense, its usage, and some examples to help you understand it better. By the end of this lesson, you will have a good grasp of the present continuous tense and be able to use it correctly in your English writing and speaking. Now, if you found today's lesson on the present continuous tense helpful, I encourage you to subscribe to our channel, IELTS Solutions, to learn more about English tenses. We have a whole series dedicated to unlocking the intricacies of English tenses, which will help you improve your writing and speaking skills. By subscribing to our channel, you will be notified of upcoming lessons and stay up to date on all the latest tips and tricks for mastering English tenses. So hit that subscribe button and let's unlock the mysteries of English tenses together. Alright, so in today's lesson, we're going to try to cover three main learning objectives. Number one is to define the present continuous tense and explain its usage in context. Number two is to tell the difference between the present simple and the present continuous. And finally, we're going to try to produce sentences in the present continuous with the proper subject-verb agreement and correct use of the ing form of the verb. I hope that we can effectively achieve these three primary learning goals so that you can confidently use the present continuous tense in various situations. So if you're prepared, let's get started. So how do we form the present continuous tense? Okay guys, so today we have a student with me. She's going to read some sample sentences. Okay, hi, how are you?
Good, thank you.
Okay, so read sentence number one.
I am typing on my laptop right now.
Great. Number two.
She is studying for her final exam this week.
Okay, that's cool. Number three.
They are playing basketball at the park at the moment.
Great. Number four.
They are traveling to Paris next week.
Okay, good. And the last one.
We are going to a concert this weekend to see our favorite band perform live.
Okay, great. Now I'm going to ask you a question. Can you identify the verbs in each sentence?
Yes.
Okay, let's give it a shot. So, sentence number one. What do you think the verb is?
I'm typing.
Okay, great. Now, I'm typing. And sentence number two?
Is studying.
Is studying. And sentence number three?
Are playing.
Great.
Are traveling.
Yeah, are traveling. This is the verb in sentence number four. And the last verb is?
Are going.
Are going. Great. You're a good student. Okay. Now, what do you notice? How many parts do we have in the verb? How many parts do we have? In the verb, do we have one part, two parts, three parts?
Two parts.
Two parts. Okay, what are they? We have, this
be.
one is am. Yeah, which verb is this?
Be.
The verb to be. Excellent. Good girl. Okay, great. Now, be in the present has got three forms. Can you identify them? Okay.
Is.
Okay.
Are.
Great, you're a genius. Okay, is, and are. And we have here the second part is a, what is it?
A verb.
A verb plus?
ing.
ing. Great. Now, verb plus ing. Now, what do we call a verb plus ing? That's a, Okay, that's a present participle. Is it clear? Now, what is the present participle from the verb to drive?
I'm driving.
I'm driving or driving? The present participle only. Driving. Okay, and can you give me the present participle of the verb to read?
Reading.
Excellent. So, present participle plus, a present participle is a verb plus ing. Okay? Now, how do you form the present continuous? So we must have this one, the be, in the present. So which is, can you read them?
Am, is,
And
are,
are, okay, plus the present.
participle.
And what's a present participle? It's a verb
plus ing.
Very good. Okay, great, great. Thank you. Okay, now we're going to read a text or a sample text about the present continuous.
West Street is busy today.
Tina and Victoria are going into a shop clothes, and Mr. Mark is buying some biscuits and a newspaper from the kiosk on the corner.
The baker is sitting out and drinking tea because there are no customers in his shop now.
The florist is preparing a nice bouquet of roses for a handsome man.
I think the man is late for a meeting as he is looking at his watch and seems worried.
There are a lot of people in the butcher's.
The shop owner is cutting meat and his assistant is talking to an old woman at the moment.
Oh my God, there's a traffic accident in front of the post office.
Two men are looking at their cars and talking to each other.
Charlotte and her husband are waiting for a bus at the bus stop.
I suppose they are going to the shopping mall now, as they always do on Saturdays. Okay, thank you guys, thank you. All right, now let's have a look at how we use the present continuous. So let's see when we use the present continuous. Actually, there are 5 uses. So number 1,
Actions in progress.
okay, cool. Number 2, temporary actions. Number 3,
Repeated actions to show annoyance with always, forever, constantly.
great.
Fixed
Number 4,
Fixed arrangements, near future.
okay, and the last one is for current trends and development. Now, let's have a look at some time expressions we use with the present continuous. Number 1,
Now.
good. Number 2, at present. Number 3,
At the moment.
okay, great. Number 4,
These days.
okay. Number 5, still. Number 6,
Today.
okay. Number 7,
Tonight.
great. Number 8,
This week.
okay. Okay, so number 1 is actions in progress. And we use the present continuous to describe ongoing actions or still in progress. So we're going to have a look at some examples. So number 1, would you please read this example?
She is studying for her exam this week.
This week, okay? What is she doing this week? What is she doing?
Studying for her exam.
For her exam. Okay, now the action is in progress. Is it clear? Okay, great. Number 2.
I am typing on my computer right now.
Okay, what are you doing now?
Typing on my computer.
Yeah, so the action is still in progress. And number 3.
They are still repairing the bridge.
Okay. Have they finished repairing the bridge or they are still repairing it?
I'm still repairing.
So the action is
Continuous.
continuous. Okay, cool. Here are some examples how we can use the present continuous for temporary actions. Okay, so let's start with the first example. So would you please read it?
I usually drive to work, but today I am riding the bus.
Okay, very good. So normally the norm is that you drive to work, but today there's a problem. So this is why you are riding the bus. Now this is a temporary action. Now what is the opposite of temporary? Permanent, yeah, something which is permanent. Now driving to work is something permanent, so this is why we use the present simple, and we have already talked about this in our last lesson. But this one, so there's something temporary which is riding the bus. Okay, sentence number 2, would you please read it?
He is driving his wife's car because his car is in the workshop.
So this is a temporary action. Now there is a reason why he is driving his wife's car. So because his car is in the workshop, it is being repaired. Okay, great. Number 3, yes.
She is preparing for her exams this week.
Okay, now this is temporary action. She is not all the time preparing for her exam, but only for this week. Is it clear? Okay, cool. We sometimes use the present continuous for repeated actions, and this is to show or to describe annoyance. Okay? Now, number one, who would like to read this? Yes, go ahead.
Why are you always criticizing
Well,
me?
you have to show me that you are right.
Why are you always criticizing me?
Yeah, why are you always criticizing me? Okay, good. Okay, number two.
You are always leaving the cup of the toothpaste.
Really? Okay, you are always leaving the cup of the toothpaste. Well, this is to show annoyance. Okay, you got it? Great. Okay, number three.
You're constantly arguing.
Yeah, you're constantly arguing. Great. We can also use the present continuous for fixed arrangements. Now, arrangements that will take place in the future, but these are called scheduled actions. Okay, so according to a plan or to a schedule. Okay, number one.
My parents are flying to Hawaii tomorrow morning.
Okay, they're flying to Hawaii tomorrow morning. Now this is already fixed. Okay, number two.
I am meeting a friend at 2 p.m.
Okay, what are you doing at 2 p.m.?
Meeting a friend.
Okay, great. You have already planned for that. Okay, so example number three.
We are attending a conference next week.
Next week. What are you doing next week?
Attending a conference.
Okay, now these actions, will they take place in the present or in the future?
In the
The
future.
future.
In the future, but we use the present continuous. Is it clear? Okay, great. We can also use the present continuous for current trends and development. Okay, so let's proceed with the first example. Could you please read it?
More and more people are shifting to remote work.
Okay, now this is something new or something very old?
Something new.
Something new. Okay, this is a new trend. Second example.
Online shopping is growing rapidly.
Okay, the same question. So, is this something new or?
It's new.
Okay, something that is new. So it is growing. So this is a new trend. And the last example.
People are living longer thanks to medical advances.
Okay, now this means that people in the past, they didn't used to live long. Is it clear? So this is a new trend. Okay, cool. All right. Now, after we have covered the different uses of the present continuous tense, I'd like to assess your learning. I want to make sure that everyone feels confident in their understanding of this grammar point before we move on. Good luck. Okay, guys, so now you're going to read some sentences, and I would like you to come up with the correct form of the verb. Okay, let's get started with the first sentence. Now, a football match tonight. Now, what should we say? I am watching, I watch, or watching. Think about it. Okay, great. Now, if you opted for I'm watching, now this is the correct answer. So I'm watching a football match tonight. And this is a scheduled, this is something that you intend or a fixed arrangement in the future. Great. Sentence number two, you constantly me. So you are constantly interrupt me, or you are constantly interrupting me, or you do constantly interrupt me. Which one do you think is correct? Great, it's number two. You're constantly interrupting me, and this is to show annoyance. Sentence number three, people, more and more junk food these days. Now this is a new trend with which we have to use the present continuous. So which one do you think is correct? People buy, people buying, people are buying. Great, people are buying. Very good. Okay, now let's have a look at sentence number four. She, TV at the moment. Now she watches TV at the moment. She is watching TV at the moment. Or she watching TV at the moment. Think about it. Okay, great. She is watching TV at the moment. Now, this is an action taking place at the same time of speaking. Okay, number 5. Look, our baby walking, walks, is walking. Look, think about it. Is walking. Great, very good. Okay, the last sentence is Mary usually plays the guitar, but today she the piano. Now think of a temporary action. So plays, play, playing, or is playing. Yeah, great. Now Mary usually plays the guitar, but today she's playing the piano. Excellent. Okay, so now let's tackle objective number 2. So here we have to tell the difference between the present simple and the present continuous. Okay guys, so now I'm going to give you some sentences and you have to tell me whether to use the present simple or the present continuous. So let's get started with the first sentence. Okay, could you read it?
Water freezes when it reaches 0 degrees Celsius.
Okay, so which answer is correct? Is it
Freezes.
freezes? Okay, now this is a fact with which we have to use the present simple. Okay, now freezes. Okay, great. Number 2, go ahead.
Sarah is doing her homework now.
Okay, now this is an action taking place at the same time of speaking. Okay, Sarah is doing. Great. Number 3.
The lecture at 1 p.m. The lecture is starting at 1 p.m.
Do you agree with him?
No, it starts.
Yes, the lecture starts at 1 p.m. because this is according to a schedule. Now, this is a scheduled action. So, okay, so we have to use the present simple. So the present simple with a future meaning. Okay, now let's proceed with example number 4. Okay, go ahead.
Petrol prices are getting higher and higher.
Okay, excellent. So petrol prices are getting higher and higher, and this is a new trend, so this is why we use the present continuous. Next.
Listen, someone is knocking on the door.
Okay, great. Listen, someone is knocking on the door, and this is an action taking place at the same time of speaking. Okay, cool. The last sentence.
We usually play tennis at the weekend.
Okay, great. Do you agree with them?
Yes.
Yeah, okay, so this is routine, okay? So we usually play tennis at the weekend. Okay, thank you guys. Okay, now we know how to use the present continuous. So we have seen so many situations in which this tense is used. So I'm going to give you a task. The question is, what should you do with what you have learned? This is very important, okay? I will give you 2 tasks. Now, task number 1, your friend wants you to go to the cinema with him. You turn down his invitation politely because you have an English test tomorrow. What should you say to him? Start as indicated. I'd like you to say something, how to apologize, okay, for not being able to attend a movie with your friend. Now you should start as follows. Now, I'm really sorry, Jack. I'd like to go, but tonight I'd like you to read the situation and try to come up with a good reason. Now, the second task is about describing what this family are doing. So I helped you. I've given you some verbs here or some actions. Now, vacuum carpet. Now, who is vacuuming the carpet? So we can say, for example, the father is vacuuming the carpet. Okay, clean windows, water plants, sweep floor. Now, you are looking at these people doing these actions. I'd like you to write them down. Okay? Okay guys, this lesson has come to an end. Thank you for taking the time to watch today's lesson on the present continuous tense. I hope you found it informative and helpful in improving your understanding of English tenses. At the end of this lesson, I encourage you to complete the tasks provided and practice using the present continuous tense in your writing and speaking. The more you practice, the more comfortable you will be with using the present continuous tense correctly. Also, please don't hesitate to share this lesson with other people who may benefit from it. Sharing is caring, and we want to help as many people as possible improve their English language skills. Once again, thank you for watching, and I look forward to seeing you in our next lesson on English tenses. Bye bye, guys.